The girl accidentally discovered that the CEO was kneeling down to apologize to the female director. Having been reborn, she immediately realized that the CEO must be pretending to apologize to swindle all the female director's money. He would then collude with the girl's best friend just like he did in her previous life to kill both the female director and the girl. She immediately wanted to rush in to warn the director. Unexpectedly, she was stopped by the director's assistant. The assistant told her that the director was very smart. Since the director knew the CEO was a scumbag, she definitely had her own plan. Upon hearing this, the girl breathed a sigh of relief. She then went to spend the 500,000 yuan reward given by the director. It turned out that not long ago, the girl had found evidence that her best friend and the CEO were colluding. She also discovered that they were taking their colleagues to a hotel to spend money. After she told the female director about this, the director immediately suspended the supplementary card she had given to the CEO. The CEO only found out the card had been suspended when he tried to pay the bill. After failing to get through to the director on the phone, he had no choice but to awkwardly ask the manager to put the bill on credit. However, the manager looked disgusted and refused to extend credit. The manager also reminded the CEO to think carefully about when he had offended the richest man's daughter. This was because the hotel was an industry owned by the richest man's family. It was also the richest man's daughter who had instructed the manager to do this. Upon hearing this, the CEO was immediately dumbfounded. However, the colleagues who did not know the truth still thought the richest man's daughter was petty. They did not understand when they had offended her. Just then, the director arrived at the scene with the girl. The manager immediately respectfully introduced to everyone that the female director was actually the richest man's daughter. Upon hearing this, all the colleagues were dumbfounded. They could not believe that the director, whom their best friend had been telling them to ostracize, actually had such a powerful background. However, the director ignored them. Instead, she directly questioned the CEO, as her fiancé, why he was using her money to keep her best friend as a mistress. Upon hearing this, the CEO was rendered speechless. The colleagues looked shocked and could not believe what the director was saying. The girl then directly took out a megaphone. She loudly told them that the CEO was actually a kept man who lived off the director, but he had hooked up with her best friend. The best friend even wanted to use her relationship with the CEO to ostracize the director. Upon hearing this, the colleagues finally saw the best friend's true colors clearly. The best friend was filled with shame and embarrassment, to the point of a breakdown. She could only angrily question the CEO, asking if he had not said he loved her. She wanted to know why he was still engaged to the director. However, the CEO directly slapped the best friend across the face to make her calm down. The best friend turned around and left in anger because of this. The CEO then vented his anger on the director. He questioned her, asking what more she wanted since she had already obtained the status of his fiancé. The director, who had always been blinded by love, finally saw the CEO's shameless true colors clearly. Upon hearing this, she directly slapped him across the face. She also announced on the spot that she was kicking him out of the company. This was because the company was actually invested by the director. Next, the director took back the supplementary card, which still had a balance of 500,000 yuan. She told the CEO to never appear in front of her again. With that said, she gave the card as a reward to the girl. The CEO thus became poor and down and out again. He could only go to his best friend to beg for a reconciliation. However, seeing that he had become a penniless bum, the best friend did not want to pay any attention to him at all. She then instigated him to pretend to go and show goodwill to the director. Helpless, the CEO could only take out the remaining money he had to buy a gift for the director. This scene was just seen by the girl. Seeing that the director had actually softened her heart and agreed to reconcile, the girl immediately wanted to rush in to break them up, reminded by the assistant. The girl then realized that the director was most likely pretending to agree to the reconciliation. She was actually setting a trap for the CEO and the best friend.